Glitch is a dirty word in the video game industry, and one that often comes with bad connotations. But much like reading a 50 Shades of Grey novel, there is some good that can come from making a horrible, horrible mistake. Technology is a tricky business, and particularly in the early days of home console gaming, certain releases would often make it onto store shelves with bugs and imperfections that were already known by everyone and your great nan by the time they were spotted by the development team. Of course, the vast majority of these were undesirable and thus led to awkward recalls and apologies. But then there are those happy accidents, those instances where not only a glitch is accepted by the masses, but outright improves its game, either by becoming a cult favourite feature of said title, or even modifying the gameplay itself to give it that new edge. That being said, I'm Ben Roy from WhatCulture.com, and this is 10 glitches that actually improved video games. Number 10. Ashley's Door Suplex, Resident Evil 4. Some consider, hey, who am I kidding? Many will go out there claiming that Resident Evil 4 is one of the greatest games of all time. A game rooted in Jill sandwiches and jump scares that'll send you through the window straight to bed before the infamous zombie dog arrives isn't safe from a glitch or two. One aspect that holds RE4 back is the character of Ashley, who really isn't much more than a soulless vessel with a purpose to play the damsel in distress. Sure, her return in Resident Evil 6 adds much needed character depth, but we're going to remain focused on her annoying existence in RE4 for now. So, what do you expect this dame in distress to do when pursued by mumbling cultists infected with Los Plagos? Well, take them to Suplex City, bitch, because, of course, removed from later versions as RE4 was either remastered or re-released a million times over. This move was achieved in slamming a door open onto the hooded stalker, which was something left over from Leon S. Kennedy's moveset. Once found out, it meant these claustrophobic sections soon become victimized by the unstoppable Ashley. Number 9. Pokemon cloning, Pokemon Gold and Silver. Another not so subtle cheat glitch that was just too fun at the time to ignore. Cloning your pocket-sized pals in Pokemon Gold and Silver, actually all Generation 2 games for that matter, was a dream for any budding Pokemon master. Now, after being raised on a childhood diet of Ash Ketchum monologues and the Avengers, I like to think I have pretty good morals. But if you offer me a way to potentially get all 3 starter Pokemon at the beginning of the game, I'll cheat my own mother out of her pension if needs be. Anyway, a simple turn off the Game Boy when transferring Pokemon into storage allowed the player to catch the game with said pocket monster both in your party and in the allotted box. This meant you could also clone any item the Pokemon was holding, meaning unlimited rare candies and master balls, copying up to 5 Pokemon at a time. Gotta catch them all! Well, now it's realistically doable. I will. Number 8. Skiing in Tribes, STARSIEGE Tribes. Imagine a glitch so successful in a particular series that its developer decided to go back to the drawing board, burn the original, and then make a new drawing board based entirely off that bug. This is the story of Tribes, which benefited from a button mechanism fault, which allowed players to traverse vast areas of the map in less time than it would take to drive. Any avid Elder Scrolls player will fill you into how buggy traveling over a mountain can get. But players of the original STARSIEGE Tribes found that tap and jump quickly let you ski downhill. Fast. Really fast. Developer Dynamics noticed what players were doing with their PC creation and thought, that's way better than anything we thought up, swiftly canning in vehicles in its sequel when taking in skiing under its wing as a niche element of the series. Number 7. Rocket jumping, QUAKE. Are you a first-person shooter fanatic, tired of exclusively playing on the ground level, need to get that glitchy advantage over the online masses? Well, good news, Timmy. Rocket jumping lets you transform from a lowly trooper to an airborne acrobat in seconds. This is one such glitch that is fuzz on its details when it comes to its official origin. And although the Quake series is the most commonly linked with this practice, rocket jumping predates even that. It's no coincidence that it was another series created by id Software designer John Romero, Doom, that featured something akin to rocket jumping all the way back in 1993, although an invincibility boost was needed for this very specific secret in E3 M6. Nowadays, the method is still incorporated in games as recent as Overwatch, while a cult classic like Team Fortress based much of the soldier's character appeal on his ability to rocket jump. Number 6. Buttpan, PLAYERUNKNOWN'S Battleground. It's never a bad thing to give something a shot, to see if it works, to see how it'll affect the state of play and the dynamic of the game. That's how PUBG's infamous Buttpan was born. The developers were just trying something and, well, forgot to take it out. Now, it would be hard to imagine the match without this cast iron rectal protection device, as who really runs headfirst into a game based on killing from a distance without a melee weapon? This kitchen utensil is somehow the best armor in a game that tries to base itself around gun nerd realism that Mr. Unknown took the industry by storm with last year. But hey, in a battle to the death, why can't we just have a little bit of silly fun? So if you're up to the challenge, try batting away bullets with this thing because that makes sense. Number 5. Multi-coin blocks, Super Mario. A relatively small error in the Super Mario Matrix, but one that, when you think about it, would be missed if the best-selling series of all time were to suddenly be robbed of its rewards. The old rumor goes that Nintendo's Super Mario Bros. Was intended for all question mark blocks to yield 1 coin, and 1 coin only when bopped by the main protagonist's little plumber head. But an anomaly emerged that produced more, and even lives in some case. Programmers noticed their multi-coin mistake and took it out, but only to circle back and decide that they actually preferred it, and rewrote the code one more time to keep it in. More than 30 years later, and millions of players the world over will still find these treasure troves of currency littered throughout Mario games, suggesting that it might have been the right call to keep it. And anyway, 3 lives, who's complaining? Number 4. Team Fortress Spy, Team Fortress 2. It's fitting that Team Fortress 2, a game with slightly glitchy origins itself, in that it evolved from a class-based Quake mod, sprouted out one of the most devious characters of all their offspring, the Spy. The original Team Fortress contained a bug where players sometimes had the wrong colour above their head, paving the way for all manner of sleuth-like underhandedness. Sound familiar? This of course would move to become one of the Spy's most appealing traits in Team Fortress 2, as the original development team that went to Valve saw it as a headline feature of his. Prime example of how the modding community can be utilised for great things. Number 3. Minecraft Creepers. Minecraft. Anyone even vaguely familiar with the world of Minecraft will know the dread when that square sun descends, and all manners of nasty things come out to play in the dark of the night. But what if I was to tell you the nastiest nasty of all didn't burn in the sun like many of its other annoying brethren, and the creeper could roam as easily as you or I? Even more annoying than their lack of particular weaknesses is the fact that creepers weren't even meant to be in the game. Game creator Mark Not Pearson admitted that he actually wanted to insert far less harmful, far more delicious entities when given birth to the creeper. The creepers were a mistake. I don't even have any modeling programs to do the models. I just wrote them in code, and I accidentally made them tall instead of long. So it was like a tall thing with 4 little feet. And that became the creeper. Throw in a little green and add an explosion effect that can ruin your playthrough in seconds, and hey presto, the creepers we know and hate today. For all the disdain that we might have for these frowny-faced buggers, there's nothing wrong with a little extra layer of challenge. Number 2. Speed feature, Space Invaders. Hard as it may be to believe, one of video gaming's landmark titles, Space Invaders, was almost designed to not actually be Space Invaders at all. It seems ridiculous to think, given the household tools of today. But in the mid to late 70s, engineer Tomohiro Nishikado, sorry if I bastardized that, had to build his hardware single-handedly, as the Japanese computers at the time couldn't process his vision, at least not with a full screen of aliens invading. As the invading swaths were wiped from the player's screen, Nishikado's hardware could run the game closer to the speed he intended, thus increasing the difficulty. This gradient in speed and thus the difficulty naturally evolved to become a feature, and one of the most influential arcade games. Thank you, old slow Japanese computers, we owe you one. Number 1. Combos, Street Fighter 2. As far as video game bugs go, there are those that beg belief as to how they made it out there. But then, there are those like the original combo function originating from Street Fighter 2, the World of the Warrior, that were allegedly known by developers before hitting shelves. It was in the arcade smash hit of 1991 that Capcom discovered executing a normal attack prior to a special animation could cancel the latter. Not only that, it was then possible to unleash a streaming barrage of Street Fighter excrement upon one's foe, and there was nothing they could do about it. According to the lead game designer, this was in fact known to the Capcom team beforehand, but because it didn't cause any bugs, and players could at most take about a third of the health bar away, it remained. The arcade combo was born. You name an arcade fighting game these days and it's sure to have a combo move system of its own implemented, and it all started with a simple glitch, albeit one Capcom could not have anticipated would be so warmly embraced by its users.
Oh, wasn't that something? Don't forget to like, share and subscribe below, and also the people who made this lovely video, they're appearing right here. But if you're thinking to yourself, I want to see more content, Jules, then why not look above my head, as there probably is some. I don't know. I can't see it. Until next time.